Good morning! Today I'm going to show you a really cool tool, I guess you could call it, called fontawesome. And what it allows you to do is easily embed vectorized like icons into your website. And you embed them as if they are a font, because fontawesome is literally a font that you download, and then you type in a special character and it shows a specific icon. So, first step, go to fontawesome.io and then click download. We see that the zip downloaded right here. So let me create a new folder real quick. God, I need to clean my desktop up. So let me just call it Font Awesome. Okay, so now if I go grab this zip that I downloaded, I'm going to paste it into this folder. Then I'm going to extract this zip with a program like 7-zip. Sorry, my dog's at the door. I'm just going to do extract here. Delete the zip, and then we have a folder where if you open it up, we have CSS, font, all this stuff. And if you go to their Get Started page, it shows you different ways that you can embed fontawesome. And basically what you do is just embed the style sheet into your website, which will then embed the actual font files and all that stuff. This right here, like if you look at these lines, this actually is to embed both Bootstrap and fontawesome, with all of them hosted over at the Bootstrap site. Otherwise, you can just use this right here and embed the one that you downloaded. So it just depends on whatever you want to do. Bootstrap, by the way, is a responsive framework, so it includes a lot of styles that'll make your site work on responsive. And we're going to talk more about that in another tutorial. So let's say for now we're going to just do only fontawesome. So we can just grab this right here. And then if we go into our code editor, I personally like to use Dreamweaver. I'm going to turn the AC while it's loading. Okay, so let's create a new HTML document. Then we're going to just paste this here in the head, and I'm going to be putting it in that folder, so this will probably be the path. So let me just save this, and I'll explain what I'm doing here in a second. Now where did I put it? Oh, here we go. Okay, so because I put it in the root of this folder, so like here's the file I just created and here's that fontawesome folder, because I put it in the root of my folder and then the fontawesome folder is right next to it, what that means is I just need to type fontawesome as the directory and then CSS, then this. And so now if I wanted to embed an icon, what we can do is we can go to their icons list, and then let's choose one we want to embed. Let's say we want to do a YouTube play button. You can actually just grab this HTML code and paste it. And then if I save this and I preview it in the browser, look at that, it shows that icon. So it's very, very easy to use. And a good example of when to use this would be like, let's say you're going to do an unordered list that's a menu, and you wanted to put icons for each of your menu items or something. So let me, I'm going to basically do this in super fast mode, so I'm going to speed up the video as I'm doing it, and I'm going to do some quick coding. Okay, so I did some quick coding, and I have a sample of a page. Sorry that there's this like close all thing here. It's been happening lately where like I'll click a button in Photoshop and it'll just keep that option there. I don't know why, but that's not part of the design. So you can see I decided to put this YouTube button here. And what makes this so powerful is that these icons are treated like normal text, and so they scale to the size of their text around them by default. You can tweak it to be different, but that's what they want to do. So let's say for my home I want to have a picture of a house. So if I go icons again, maybe I'll just search for house. I've done this before, I know that they have one. I just wish they had like some sort of like category feature on here that would make it easy to find. So here we are, icon home. I can just grab this HTML. So if I go here, I can just paste that there. And let's say contact, we want like a picture of a pencil. Here we go, this edit one looks great. So let's grab this and paste it right there. So look at how simple that was. Now maybe we don't like that there's not a lot of space. And so you can still style with these with CSS. Like if we inspect this code, we get it back in the browser. So if we inspect this code, we see it's still just that I class, or that icon with a class on it. So if we wanted to do like styling for ul.nav with the icon inside it, you can say margin right of like 5 pixels. See how it adds that nice little margin? And so because it's still part of the text, it's still part of the link, and it's awesome, and you can use it anywhere. You can use it inside of your text, so if you just have a paragraph and you want to put it right here, boom. Look at that, just an icon right there. And as I mentioned before, it scales with the size of your text, but if you don't want it to, you can just adjust the font size. So see how I'm styling the I tag right here? I could say font size of 40 pixels. And now we see that it makes just those icons larger. Gosh, I wish that this was not here. Hold on, let me make a margin on top of this. That's pretty much good. So like this YouTube one, you can see it looks a little funky with the curved edges, so I probably wouldn't use this one, but then there's one like this home that looks great. And there's no limit to the size. I mean, they're totally vector, so you can make them hundreds of pixels, and in fact, they tend to look better when they're hundreds of pixels tall because there's less for the browser to guess about. So very cool, very easy to use, and if you're into doing responsive design, it's perfect because it's made to go with the Bootstrap framework. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. Get in touch if you have any questions. And be sure to visit learnwithzach.com, where you'll be able to learn more about the CSS and HTML that I used to build this, because you saw me kind of code this whole thing together really quickly. And if you're not really familiar with how CSS works, you might be a little bit confused about how I made these larger and how I embedded them. And the Learn with Zach membership includes free access to my full CSS, HTML, and the design training that I'm putting together right now. So thank you again. Get in touch if you have questions, and I will see you next time.